What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome to the Flipside.
Welcome.
Thanks for leading us, buddy.
Yeah,
It's
man.
great to celebrate baptism together.
It is awesome
Love
to
it,
celebrate
love it.
baptisms.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like one of my favorite.
Yeah. And it's just knowing some of those stories is incredible, and hopefully we'll get a chance to share some of those stories with y'all sometime.
So good.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. Hey, you want to hop right
Let's jump
into
in.
these?
Let's hop in.
Hey, Eric, this first question goes, I don't get your connection between beautiful people and me. I found those that are beautiful and struggle with it are narcissists who want attention. Why does that mindset matter to me?
Thank you for that question. I would say it might not matter to you.
Mm-hmm.
My point in that list was that we all have different things that we look to in order to feel good enough about ourselves, rather than praising him who called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. So for some people, their goal, their idol of their heart is their physical appearance. That might not be you. So in which case it wouldn't apply. There might be a different thing happening in your heart that tends to cause you to turn away from Jesus. I would push back on declaring someone a narcissist. We never know what's going on in somebody else's heart. And sometimes some of the people that seem most self-absorbed are doing it because they're the most insecure. And so I would encourage you, if you got somebody in your life and it feels like they're just beautiful and all about themselves, they might be, but man, they might just be so insecure that the way they're dealing with their insecurity is to highlight their beauty. And they are worthy of our prayers, and praying that God would free them from that. So great. I'm glad you asked the question. Always good to clarify. That's why we do this.
That is exactly why we do this. Eric, this second question goes, so if we receive his forgiveness, that's it. Aren't works also important?
That's it when it comes to forgiveness. That's it when it comes to being that's it when it comes to being a part of Jesus' people. There are no works that earn us anything from God. Now, remember what I said in the message. How do we know we're Jesus' people? Because we what? Declare the praises of him who called us out of darkness and into his wonderful light. So, yes, of course, living for Jesus is what Jesus people are called to do. That's why we're Jesus people together on mission.
Yeah.
But the works flow out of our heart of praise to the Lord. And when I'm the more thankful I am that Jesus called me out of darkness and into light, man, they're not works. It's my desire to please him, to listen to him. I want to hear what he has to say. I want to meet with him, not so I can feel good about myself, but because I'm already in the light. It's two people could be doing the exact same thing for very different reasons. And so, yes, are works important? If by works you mean, would a person who genuinely praises God for saving them have a desire to know him more and to serve him and to love him and want a relationship with him? Of course. And then out of that will flow all sorts of good works, but not to earn anything from God. And I'm telling you, it is so easy to slip into, am I doing enough for Jesus to love me? And the reason I love what Peter said is that when my heart is welling up with praise for the fact that I remember what it meant to be in darkness and I know what it means to be in light, changes my heart. And that's what he wants from us. He wants heart change, not a list. Lists just don't work in any relationship. So yeah.
When it comes to forgiveness, I hearken back to the great scholar Elmer Fudd when he said, "Badi, that's all, folks."
That's it. There you go. We got the jerk and Elmer Fudd in one. That's great. Perfect. We're hitting all the classics. This is the level we live at here, guys. This what could have been the third thing. We remember, we care, and we keep it simple.
Yes, definitely. And light. Eric, using the example of Hosea, where do we draw the line between forgiving others and being used?
Oh, thank you for asking that.
Great
so
question.
Don't miss the fact that it was a very unique, arguably one-time thing that God called Hosea to. Hosea is not an illustration for how marriage should work. Hosea is not a prescription for how every spouse who is unfaithful should be treated. That's not what Hosea is. Hosea is God calling a prophet in Israel to go to this incredibly painful length to show us how much God loves us. That's what Hosea is. It is not about how your marriage should work. It's not about how you should treat your spouse. It's not about how you should be treated. So I would say I would not use the example of Hosea for any of those things. Hosea is an example of how much God loves his people. That's what Hosea is an example of. Don't use it as an example for your personal relationships, especially for your marriage. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. Glad that we could clear that up. That's what Hosea is an example of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think this may be the last question. We'll check it, and this one's is quite the mouthful. So forgive me if you have issues understanding it, but this is my first time going through it. So, Eric, this question goes. You said the verse at the end of Hosea 2 was about Gomer, but wasn't it about the two specifically named children of that marriage? Might be a minor quibble, but I find that context beautiful, showing the offspring of the marriage that is a mirror of the people of Israel and God are redeemed by God's actions.
That is true, and Gomer, so it's both, and you just can only get into so much. I was already 4 minutes over, so we just couldn't. There's like we could do a whole sermon, we could do a whole 30 minutes just on Hosea and Gomer. So you're right. Yep, those are the children, but it's not the children as distinct from Gomer. So that's the only thing. The point is it's all been redeemed, all of her unfaithfulness and the fruit of her unfaithfulness and the fruit of what they have in their marriage. So yes, and it's all of them. But you're exactly right, and just can't get to it all.
Yeah,
and it's wasn't Peter's. And it didn't matter for the point that Peter was making, so it didn't make it into this sermon. But yeah, it's good. It's real good.
Appreciate
you got anything else today, buddy?
I think that may be all the questions. Thank you guys so much for submitting the questions. Feel free to submit questions throughout the week. It doesn't have to be just today. We'll get to those questions when we can. So if you submit throughout the week, we will answer them in a timely fashion.
Love to.
We'll love to encourage everyone to stay connected with us via all of our social media platforms. I'm forgetting a couple of housekeeping things.
Oh, housekeeping. Love it. Dusting.
Was today the start of Fill-A-Bag?
Yeah.
So for those who are watching online, which I would imagine you are right now, feel free to come by. How would someone come by and grab? Should they come by and grab a bag? Or?
There's definitely a way. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's clear on the website.
Yes.
I'd be shocked if there's not a Fill-A-Bag link on the website.
Yes.
You could come by one of the campuses and grab a bag for sure, but you can probably even do it from home. Whatever the Strawbridge thing was, like scan to give money to fill a bag, you could definitely do that. But if you want to go shopping, you could come by. So I'd say watch the video back. Ashley said what Strawbridge was going to do, which was different. So you could definitely do that if you're watching online. And it's basically donating the amount of money you would have spent at the grocery store.
Well, the reason why we're saying that is because we would love for you to participate in that, sort of be the hands and feet of God. And this is a great way to sort of, be in that, whatever. And just because you're online, feel free to still participate, whatever. Like,
great.
We invite you to do that. We appreciate you guys joining in. We will see you right back here after all the services next Sunday. Until then, we will catch you on
the flip side.
The flip side.